We're heading into 2023, Year of the Water Rabbit, and today we are going to talk about how your element will fare in 2023. Hi, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about how your element will do in 2023. Now, elements always come in pairs, so in 2022 it was Yang Water, and in 2023 it's Yin Water. You also have an element, and that's the element that you were born under in the year you were born. So the first step is to find out your element. And so I'm going to place those on the screen by year. If, however, you were born in January or February, there is some nuance to this. And so you're going to want to look in the description to find what element you are. So if you're born under the element of wood, this year is water, and water feeds wood, which means the entire world is giving you what you need. How great is that? Now, that doesn't mean that everybody lines up in perfect order whenever you want something, but it does say that whatever it is that you do want is available somewhere. So, and you do have to be aware that when the world comes to you to offer you this, they may have an agenda. And so you need to align what you want with what they want to make perfect harmony happen. However, the bottom line is that if you want something, and that is a job, a relationship, more connections, etc., it is available to you this year. Because water is in so much abundance this year, you have what you need to grow. This could take the form of the right information, the right connections, anything that you want. So if you reach out to a single individual, what can happen is a chain of responses come back to you. And that means that they go out and find friends and collaborators who would then come to you to work with you. So in a year like this, it's like you find the nugget of gold and then you go forward and find more nuggets, and finally you find the entire gold mine. Now, the downside of all of this good news is that there can be so much help and so much information that you get overwhelmed. So it's very important that you prioritize what it is that you want to do, because when you open those floodgates, it is going to be a flood. And when something that wants to grow gets that much water, what can happen is that you're growing in all different wild directions. And so every once in a while, you want to take out your shears and prune back whatever it is, so that you're not, doing a little bit on this business and a little bit on that business and, having 20 friends that you're in contact with. It is about, doing the things that are priorities. But overall, you have a good year ahead. Now, if you are born in a fire year, this is a water year, you can already imagine that there's going to be a conflict. So this can feel like when you have an idea, when you have something you want to do, there is an endless supply of people with buckets of water to pour on your thoughts, your ideas. And so everyone you meet says, well, it's kind of a good idea, but here's how it's not going to work, or I think you shouldn't do it right away. You should hold back. Now, and this doesn't necessarily mean they are trying to block you or being unsupportive. They are just maybe overwhelmed by your enthusiasm and your desire to take action. So while you say, all right, that you're ready to climb to the top of the mountain, they're all saying, oh, wait, I don't know if that's a good backpack, or are you wearing the right shoes? Or they're pointing out a billion different things. And all you can feel is frustrated that they are standing in your way. But they may make some good points. And so it might be wise for you to check what it is you're doing and take what they're saying and say, I'm getting this sort of warning or critique. And is it valid? Is it necessary for me to stop and look at it? So you don't want to ignore this stuff completely. The other side of this is, because water energy is so much about communication, you may find that a lot of people who are supportive are all talk and no action. It's like you're ready to jump in and get the business going, and they're still working on spreadsheets and taking surveys and forming committees and things like that. So, be aware that you're going to be moving at a different speed than most people this year. So, and the bottom line is that you're a natural leader. And so you need to recognize that leaders lead, and then the people who can and are willing will follow. And so when you have something that you want to do, no matter what it is, you just move forward, and don't be so distracted that the people behind you are still trying to have a meeting or form a quorum, or are trying to kind of pull your coattails back to say, oh, you're going too quickly. Just move forward, and the ones who follow will follow. So the bottom line is 2023 does offer you some challenges, and the fortunate thing is that most of the time when you're at the energy of fire, that you are too busy moving forward to notice. If you are Earth and this is a water year, you are on the destructive cycle because Earth blocks water. Now, from the standpoint, though, it's you as Earth trying to block the entire world of water, which means that all of this information and opportunities are flowing to you, and you need to channel it into where it needs to be. That means there's very much of a need for you to determine early on what's going to be helpful and what's not, what's in line with your goals and what's not. And so as the flood of information comes in, you need to ask yourself, is this really adding to my life? Is this helping me in some way? Because if it's not, then it's time to X that out. Now, it's also possible that what's going to happen is that people will try to get you to take on more than you should. That is that they say, oh, here's this responsibility. And they say, oh, and if you're taking that, take this, this, and this, and this. So it's a flood. And so, but you as Earth setting up the dam that says, oh no, this goes here in this area and this goes here over here. And so that is because you know what it is that you want from the get-go. So if your idea at your job is to just, do your work so that you have enough energy when you get home to be with family or to work on a side business, then don't take on extra stuff at work. If, on the other hand, your goal is to really maximize this job, then yes, you open that floodgate and allow opportunities to come in. Now, the plus for you this year is if you don't like the opportunity in front of you, just wait a moment, because another one's going to follow and another one's going to follow and another one's going to follow. So you're probably going to be saying no quite often, but that is because you are getting so many different opportunities, and a lot of them are not going to be a fit for you. So be okay with saying no, knowing that there's going to be another opportunity, another request. And of course, if you can have a clear idea of what it is that you're trying to achieve in almost every situation, then you're going to be just fine. So this is where you get still and you start to visualize, your ideal day. What's a great relationship with your boss? What would be a good relationship with your children? Thinking about what it is that you want will help you spot if what is being offered you is in line with your goals. And if it's not, say no, because something else is coming along. So if you're metal and the year is water, that is on the creative cycle. And so everybody's getting ready to cheer. However, it's actually on the creative cycle, but in the wrong direction. So because what it is that metal creates water. And so therefore you, the smaller, is trying to create the entire world. And so this means that everyone feels that you're vital to their project because you are on that creative cycle. They say, oh, you should come and work for us. You should be on our project. You should be in a relationship with me. That you are vital to all of their plans. This means you could be pulled in every single direction. There's so many projects and opportunities for you to work on, but they all take your time and energy, and they may not actually be what you were looking for. And so you need to be quite aware that people are going to rope you into things that weren't on your goal list or may not be a priority for you at all. So this year, while you're going to get so many opportunities, you want to be aware that it's time to be choosy. You're going to have to say no, maybe as often as you say yes. And also, water is very much about communication. And so as you do decide you're going to do something, you're going to find that the people who are bringing you the resources and the opportunity want to discuss things almost endlessly. They want to go back and forth and make sure that everything is happening. And you, being metal, are so practical. You don't like to waste a lot of time on useless communication. Essential communication you're fine with, but not the back and forth on every single little detail when a lot of these things will work themselves out. So that can be a little bit of a source of frustration in an otherwise really strong year for you. But probably the most important thing to remember is to not overexert yourself and not waste your energy on projects that are not important to you, because you will be getting such a wide variety of different projects. It's good to know what you want ahead of time. And sometimes in the joy and just the sort of enthusiasm of being asked, you can get roped into things that actually take an awful lot of your time and need you to be quite responsible when it's really not something that you are wanting to support at that level. So overall, I see this being quite a good year for you getting opportunities. You're just going to have to be a little choosy. So if you are water and this is a water year, then you are in harmony with the energy. That means you have an innate understanding of how water works. You understand the flow, the need for communication, this desire to connect with others. So all of that is in harmony with you. This also means that others see you as quite important because you have this understanding of how to collaborate, how to empathize, how to communicate with a diverse group of people. You have the ability to take what many people do and pull it together in a harmonious flow. You also can easily flow from one project to another and one group to another, and this can make you quite in high demand in 2023. Your challenge this year is actually going to be around having so many people around, so much information around that it kind of drowns out what it is that you really wanted to do. So the endless scrolling, the endless collection of information, the meeting people, but having so many people that you've met, you've lost track. You're not actually keeping in touch with them. You're not remembering who you have said you're going to meet. So this is where the flood of opportunities can be too much. Also, because of the world we live in and the algorithms that seem to feed us that information, one of the things that can happen if you're water in a water year is that you get the same information over and over again, that you're not actually flowing in a new direction. So in past years, before there were algorithms running everything, you would let serendipity give you a connection, a new information, a new opportunity. But now it's going to take a little bit of effort to get divergent viewpoints, to meet somebody outside of your circle, and to get information that you normally wouldn't get. So it's going to be a little bit like you need to spread, which is great because it's water. That's wonderful. If you are, though, locked in a container, you're just going to get the same thing over and over, and then you're just a washing machine. So the focus for you in this really great year for you is going to be how to get out of the container that people want you to be in. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe and stay tuned because LaRue wants to say hi. Tell me what's going on. Are you saying there's no food in your bowl? Is that it? You want some food? That's awesome.